Hi, and welcome to the SparcStart TA Leader Series, where we get to talk to some of the leading people in TA and hear about interesting ideas, things they're thinking about, and just bits of wisdom. Today, I'm thrilled to have Brendan Shepard with us. Brendan, will you introduce yourself to our audience?
Yeah, how you guys doing? My name is Brandon Shepard. I'm one of the HR managers here at Clemens Food Group. Been here for around 3 years. And in that time frame, I've been in a number of different areas. I started out in talent acquisition with my previous employer as well. Did a lot of different things there from the retail space to the business side, business development, merger and acquisition side. And then over here at Clemens Food Group, doing the same thing when it comes to the non-exempt population, then moved over to exempt and immigration and did all of that recruitment. And now I'm learning the HRBP side, which is more of team member relations, investigations, risk assessments, and things like that.
And for people who aren't familiar with Clemens Foods, you are the largest pork producer in the country. Is that true?
Oh my God, I wish, I wish. We are the fourth, but we're coming for the
Fourth?
number one
Okay.
spot. Don't let number four be the spite. We're coming for number one, but we are number four right now in the U.S. Only specialized in pork manufacturing. Yeah.
Right. And, well, I'm sure you'll be number one again, but you're still a large pork producer for the U.S. and actually for the world. So you've
Absolutely.
got obviously very interesting skill profile, motivation, and so forth. And despite lots of things going on in your environment and your world right now, you're working to do better assessments and assess people more accurately. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing there?
Yeah, so from a recruitment point of view, we see that the recruiting team is the gate for the business. That is where people see who we are. That's where people engage with us the most. So in that, what we're looking at is using certain assessments to not only look at your resume, which is something that we can do, but also dive deeper. We want to know who you are as from a personality point of view, a motivational point of view, a skill set. Like we want to really know the person. At the end of this, we're really always talking about people because people are our energy, that is our business. That's what allows us to make money and continue to make more money. So the way we do that is by having great people work here at our business and having great connections and great teams. So we use assessments, we use multiple interviews, not too many interviews, but just enough to make sure we can understand the person. You get a connection with me, I get a connection with you, and then from there we're able to make better decisions and more effective decisions, not only with a subjective point of view, but more objective point of view with assessments and scores.
And why does that matter to your business? For someone who's not that close to it, it would seem that you're hiring man hours, labor. So why do motivations and things like that matter to you?
This is tough work. Imagine coming over here and working in a manufacturing plant where you're working at minimum 10 hours a day, um,
Wow.
4 to 5 days a week, sometimes even 6 days a week, depending on need, if we're ramping up or we're ramping down, depending on what's going on. So we always want to know that we are hiring someone who, one, fits our culture and is also someone who's going to stay. We love people who have been here for a very long time, as any business would, and we celebrate that. We have some people here who have been here for 50 years. So we
Wow.
have that large connection, and we want to have that connection from the top down. So we do that for the production team, and we do that for the exempt team as well. The corporate roles, you would imagine this is pork manufacturing. All you guys do is make pork products. Not really. There's more than that. There's a real estate side, there's the IT side, there's the HR side, obviously, and things like that. So there's so many things that we do from a corporate side as well. We have drivers, we have our PVT, we have our scheduling and planning. There's so many different things, and all of that is all integrated and having a connective piece and a humanistic piece as well.
But you've got such paradise locations that people are just dying to go to, right?
I mean, you can say that, right? Our Coldwater, Michigan plant is pretty on the outskirts. It's pretty desolate out there. That is more of the rural area. So it is different, but it's not as populated as the Philadelphia market was.
Because, I mean, everyone worries about turnover. It's expensive, it's disruptive to your business. But
Absolutely.
part of what you're up against is you're in locations where there aren't plentiful candidates. that you couldn't just go out and find another 50 people in some of these rural locations, right? You're really constrained by available populations.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it makes us have to think outside the box sometimes and be more creative in how we find this talent, how we start and initiate a pipeline, and then how we continue to mandate and keep that pipeline warm.
Uh, and I'm going to talk about the piece that fascinates me so much is that both immigration and tariffs are impacting your business right now, right? Can you talk a little bit about how that adds more complexity to your workday?
Yeah, I mean, as everyone knows and everyone is seeing in the news, things change readily every other day. So because of that, if you can think about it, that is affecting how team members are reacting to that news. And we try to handle everything with care. Again, from a humanistic point of view, with care, we're conscientious about it as well. So we're also working with the team members as much as possible to be transparent and show that although there might be confusion out there, we want to have a streamlined communication internally and here with our business.
So, and you've got employees who have temporary work visas that are waiting on dispositions of court cases and things like that for their permanent residency. Is that really your situation that some of your employees are at risk potentially of being deported based on changing legislation?
I would say we have a bunch of different visas. We have so many people who are on different visas and legally here. And because of that, we are really wrapping our minds about every single aspect of it so that we can give clear communication. Because the worst thing you want to do is give the wrong communication because you learned the wrong thing, or you might have made a mistake with someone's visa. So you don't want to do that either. So we are looking at it from multifaceted from every avenue that we can for each visa that we possibly have in the business.
Wow. And it changes almost daily, it seems, which
Yeah, yeah,
makes it even harder when you don't know what to say, right?
yeah, yeah. Sometimes you say, "Hey, this is happening, and this is the reaction that we're taking," and then a couple of days later, it's, "Hey, now there's a court in there, and we don't have to make that move right now." So you're continue to work.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
We talk to a lot of TA leaders who think they have uncertainty in their market, but I think you've got the most extreme case. And the other piece is tariffs because you sell quite a bit to Asia, right?
Mhm.
China's a big market for you.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you sometimes send product to Canada for finishing and then it comes back to the US, so it goes over the border and hits tariffs in both directions.
hmm Yeah, from a business, like I said, right? You would never think, again, that a U.S. based, U.S. created a pork production manufacturer is so highly affected by tariffs, and immigration status. So, yeah, we are absolutely affected by that. But again, we take everything rolling. You might hit us in the chin, but we'll pop back up no matter what. And we keep looking at different ways to make sure that we are going forward and progressing forward and keeping everyone with us as much as possible with care.
And I both admire the with care, but also the calmness, if you will, about rather than panicking at looking at your processes and making sure your assessments are appropriate to make sure you're doing the best job possible, that even though your environment is slamming back and forth on you, it seems like you've got a really focused approach to what you're doing. You're continuing to improve, and you're just putting one foot in front of the other every day, right?
Yeah, that's all you can do. And believe me, I'm calm now. But as things happen, yeah, internally we are going back and forth. We do panic a little bit and then we come together. And this is a big thing with Clemens as well. We're very big about collaboration, gaining consensus, being able to challenge each other and have the conversation. And then at the end of the day, coming to an alignment and all being um, gun ho about that alignment. So we do that constantly here. So that's why in this conversation, you see me as calm, but hey, when the next thing happens, yep, we all get together. We're constantly talking about it, pressure it, challenge it, and then we make a decision.
But it's still impressive that there's such focus. got to point to good management and really good TA is what I think.
Yeah, yeah. As a whole, I think just this family business that's been here for 128 years and it's going to continue to grow and continue to be here. I think it's just a muscle that they've worked for a very long time. They fine-tuned it and they're able to now teach it and let other people develop it as well. So it is our culture. It is who we are as a business and is what we propagate throughout every avenue of this business.
Oh, I love it. All right. Last question. What would you be doing now if you could, if you had the bandwidth, if you had the tools, where would it be what's the next big step forward? What would be the opportunity if all the stars aligned for you?
Gosh, there's so many things that flood into my mind as I think about this, but one avenue I can think of would be finding ways to improve and add in more AI and more technology that assist with the human. So assist with our strategy, assist with how we think of things, assist with gathering data to make our jobs less tactical and make our jobs more strategic so that we can connect human and human more often than we are today. So that would be something that goes in my mind. And I think about how can technology make us more human?
I love it. I'm I'm hopeful that will come. I
Yeah.
think that's realistic. Yeah, we look at AI every day, and I look at the things on my to-do list and think, what can I ask ChatGPT to do? And the answer is none of these things right now. I,
Absolutely.
I
There's so
wish.
much, but there's so much you can do with it.
Yeah,
You and I will talk about it another time, but hey, you even use it to help you train and learn new things. So we'll take that offline. We'll take that offline
yeah,
and talk
yep.
about it.
But it's coming,
Yeah.
which is encouraging. And I think people just need to be patient that we keep saying the version of AI that we're using today is the dumbest, slowest version we'll ever know. Right? It's
Hmm.
only going to get we're AI 1.0 or maybe 1.2 at this point.
Yeah.
But we've got a ways to go, and hopefully we'll find constructive ways to really make it a time saver. So that'll be great. Well, Brenda, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. I think people will be fascinated by your situation, what you're doing, and inspired by it. So thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking with you. And hey, hope you have me again.
Absolutely. Thanks.
Thank you.